Hi, I'm Anita Lane, the creator of the Founder Chronicles, the podcast where we chronicle critical decisions that founders make along their startup journey. Come learn and grow with us. You ready? Let's go.
Thanks, Anita. Welcome in, everybody. We're diving into something pretty incredible that you sent our way.
Oh, is this the one I think it is?
It is. You pointed us to this new memoir, Life Minutes, Igniting Joy from the Fire of Heartache by Tara Heaton. And we're like, ooh, okay, sounds interesting. But this is not just any book, right? This one has shot straight to #1 new release in its category on Amazon. And incredibly, it's holding a perfect 5-star rating across the board.
Wow.
Yeah. Like all the reviews are 5 stars so far.
Yeah.
And you see that and you're like, whoa, okay, what is connecting so deeply here?
It's so true. With a memoir especially, I mean, they're so personal, they're so vulnerable. The fact that this one is getting that kind of universal acclaim right away.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, it makes you think, wow, Tara must have tapped into something really, really resonant with people.
Yeah. What do you think it is about her experience, about the way she's sharing it, that's hitting home like that?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah, let's dive in. So she starts by painting this picture of her life, and I think it's probably a familiar one to a lot of us, just brimming with joy. She's got 3 healthy children, a loving husband, a career that she finds fulfilling, a happy home.
The dream.
The dream, yeah, right. That's what we all kind of want to build towards, But then it all shifts suddenly, really almost out of nowhere.
Uh-oh.
Her middle daughter, Caroline, she's only 12 years old at this point.
Oh, gosh.
And she contracts a virus, and it leads to severe encephalitis,
Oh, wow.
which then results in a seizure disorder. And this disorder, it's not static, it's progressive. So it starts to impair Caroline's cognitive function over time. And just as a listener, even just hearing that, you can imagine the sheer devastation that brings. The impact on Caroline herself, of course, but on the entire family, right?
And that joy you were just talking about.
Shattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then you're faced with, how do you navigate that kind of profound and ongoing hardship?
That's the question, right?
That is the question. And that's where Tara's memoir, Life Minutes, comes in. It's not a story of being defeated by this. Not at all. It's like this powerful testament to the human spirit, in the face of this unimaginable adversity. And it's about not just surviving it, but actively navigating this turmoil with this incredible strength, this tenacity,
Like a fire in her.
Yeah. And she really reveals the power of truth in the midst of it all.
The power of truth.
Yeah, I think reading it, you get this feeling that it's not just like a recounting of events for her. It's like she's rewriting her experience, finding meaning where there might seem to be none.
I love that. Rewriting the narrative. That's, I think, such an important thing for all of us to remember in any situation. We can always choose how we look at things, how we frame them. We have agency.
Absolutely. Even in the hardest times. So I'm curious, how does she do that? How does she rewrite the narrative in this memoir? What are some of the things that stood out to you?
Well, one thing that really jumped out at me was this idea of actively fighting for joy, even when she's surrounded by, as you said, profound hardship. And what I love is she doesn't shy away from the hard stuff, the heart-wrenching reality of it all, but somehow she manages to weave in these moments of humor, these moments of relatability. And as a mother myself, I just connected with that so deeply, and with anyone, I think, who has loved deeply.
It's like those moments make the hard stuff bearable.
Yeah. She talks about, dancing barefoot in the kitchen, listening to Van Morrison, sharing these late-night confessions on the porch swing, just like little things, But there are these anchors, these moments of light in the darkness.
And those moments are so important, right? Because they remind you that life can still be good even when things are tough.
Exactly. It's not all or nothing. There's nuance. And I think that's something we often forget.
Absolutely. And then she has this really interesting perspective on pain itself. Like she even says, heartache is not heartbreak. We can repurpose pain to make room for new depths of freedom, love, and joy.
Ooh, say that again.
Heartache is not heartbreak. We can repurpose pain to make room for new depths of freedom, love, and joy.
Wow, what a distinction. I love that.
Right. What do you think she means by that, heartache versus heartbreak?
Well, to me, heartbreak, it feels like something is broken, like it's irreparable, final. But heartache, it's painful, don't get me wrong, but it feels
like there's still room for something else.
Yeah. Like there's potential for growth, for transformation. And I love that word, repurpose. It means you're taking that pain, that hurt, and you're not letting it destroy you. You're using it to build something new, something better.
And she does see this whole journey as a climb, not a fall.
Oh, interesting. Towards something greater, she says.
Yeah. which is such a shift in perspective, right?
Yeah.
Instead of feeling like a victim, she's like, no, I'm climbing, I'm fighting for something.
It makes you wonder, what is that greater she's striving for?
Right. And it's so empowering because it means we all have that choice, to see our challenges as opportunities for growth rather than just like these insurmountable obstacles.
Absolutely. So how does she do it? How does she keep climbing, even when it's so hard?
Well, the profile really emphasizes her role as a mother, but not just any mother, a mother-turned-warrior.
Oh, I love that.
Right. And she's driven by this fierce protectiveness for her daughter's health and well-being. And she even talks about this flame she discovered as a child on a diving board, fueling her relentless fight.
That's such a powerful image, a flame. It suggests that this inner strength, this resilience, it was always there, just waiting to be ignited.
And, it makes you think we all have that flame somewhere inside of us, don't we?
I think so. It's just a matter of finding it and then fanning the flames.
So true. But the memoir doesn't just focus on Caroline and the medical side of things. It goes deeper than that. It talks about her marriage unraveling during this time, the guilt she felt towards her other children, and, that spiritual reckoning that can happen when you're facing something this huge, a crisis of faith.
It's like when one thing shakes, everything else starts to wobble too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's just so honest about all of it,
Sure.
which must be incredibly powerful for the reader to see that vulnerability.
That rawness makes it real, relatable.
Yeah. And I think that's why it resonates with people, because it's not sugar-coated. And, she shares this realization that she had. She says that she kept going, not by pretending everything was okay, but by choosing to embrace the truth. And she even admits that she had been wasting my fighting spirit on fighting off my truth and denying human connection.
Wow. That's huge. To admit that you've been fighting against yourself.
Right. It's like, that's where our real energy goes sometimes, into those internal battles.
What a waste, right? When we could be using that energy to connect, to heal, to grow.
And to find joy, even in the midst of pain, which is what this whole memoir is about, right?
It is. And she says something so beautiful about resilience. She says, resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about letting the cracks become conduits for light.
Ooh, I love that.
Me too. It's so poetic, but it's also so true. We're all going to get cracked and broken at some point. That's just part of life. But it's what we do with those cracks that matters.
Do we let them become these ugly scars that hold us back? Or do we let the light shine through them?
Right. Do we let them become something beautiful, something that connects us to others who have also been broken?
And that's really what makes her a voice for so many people, I think, for caregivers, for special needs families, for anyone who has experienced loss.
Because she's not saying, I have all the answers. She's saying, this is my story, this is what I learned, and maybe it can help you too.
Exactly. And she really wants people to understand that it's okay to laugh, to love, even when you're hurting. You don't have to wait for the pain to go away. In fact, she says, what a waste of life minutes. We could be waiting a lifetime.
So true. We can't put life on hold. We have to find those moments of joy, of connection right now, in the present.
And it's interesting. She's actually an entrepreneur. She founded this company, Pointe Communication, where she trains leaders in empathy and authentic communication. So it's no wonder she can articulate these complex experiences so well.
Oh, yeah, that makes total sense. But, even with that background, it's clear that her deepest strength comes from her experience as a mother, as a human being navigating this incredible challenge.
Absolutely. And Life Minutes, it doesn't offer this like perfectly neat and tidy ending, which in a way makes it even more powerful.
Right, because life isn't neat and tidy.
It's messy, it's unpredictable, and that's okay. And she leaves you with a sense of hope, this hard-won wisdom, and even humor. And she says something that I think is just perfect. It sums up the whole book. She says, we can't keep waiting for the storm to pass. We must pull on our boots and dance in the rain.
I love that. Such a great metaphor for life, right? Embrace it all, the good, the bad, the messy. Just dance.
So, I think the biggest takeaway from this deep dive is, even when life throws you the absolute worst, you can still find joy. You can still find strength. You can still find connection. And that's what Tara's memoir is all about.
Yeah, it's a call to action. To live fully, to love fiercely, and to never stop dancing, even in the rain.
If you want to learn more about Tara, pronounced Tara Heaton, and her work, you can visit onpointglobal.com.
And thank you, Anita, for sending us this one. It's really powerful.
Thank you for joining us. We turn it back over to you, Anita.
That was great. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope you gleaned an insight or two from this deep dive. Founder Chronicles is original content written by the Sensei Communications team and narrated by AI. If you have a story that you'd like chronicled on our podcast, let us know. Send an email to mystory@founderchroniclespodcast.com. Until next time.